And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to HomeStory Cup 25, the group stage. Day 1 of the group stage, and we are nearing the end of Group A. Group A has been well underway here at HomeStory Cup. There are 2 rounds left. 2 rounds remaining here to determine who makes it out of these groups. And here we go. We're jumping into our next series. We're jumping into our ZVT, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our German Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Berliner Esports Club. It is EonBlu. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have the French Terran player poised to make it out in first place of Group A. The French Terran representing Team Liquid, it is Clem. The best Terran player in all of Europe. Now, again, it's not set in stone. There's still other contenders out there. There's Ryung in the group stage. There's Mana as well. Mana took a game off of Clem. Ryung, likewise, is going to be facing off against Clem, I believe, in the last round. And here we have EonBlu stepping up to the table as well. Now, earlier we did cover Clem versus Fiant. Fiant was hyper aggressive in game 2, went for an all-in, and even was forced into an all-in in game 1 as well. It was just really chaotic play, and Clem was able to keep up with the chaos that Fiant had to offer. I'm curious how EonBlu will approach Clem. Now, we have already seen that EonBlu has some specialized builds. I didn't want to give it away. I was aware of this, but I didn't want to say too much just because I didn't know if there were maybe some other players talking, and I wanted it to be a bit of a surprise, but we've already seen it twice on Crimson Court. We saw that EonBlu, he has some special all-ins planned on Crimson Court. He did it against Mana, he did it against Ryung earlier with mixed success. It almost did work against Ryung, did not really get underway against Mana, but that's specifically on Crimson Court. What about some of these other maps? What about some of these more standard maps in the map pool? That's what I'm curious about. That's what I want to see, what EonBlu has planned here. I'm not necessarily expecting standard macro play. I mean, Oceanborn wouldn't be the worst map for that, but I'm also not privy to the vetoes. I don't know what the map order is. I don't know what's coming up next here. I'm pretty sure, depending on the maps, again, some of them, EonBlu does have something special planned on maps like Post Youth, on maps like Ghost River. On Oceanborn, we'll see. We'll find out. We will find out. Who was the Zerg? EonBlu. German Zerg player. Let's go. Those who are unaware, it was said earlier, but EonBlu, he was a competitor for a long time back in the day, did step away from the game for quite some time, hasn't competed in a while, so this is the return. This is a bit of a comeback for EonBlu, if you will. Again, EonBlu, he's local to the scene, he's local to the German region, as, Thule's going to be going down already. Good pickoffs here by Clem. Very nice start. But EonBlu has been around for a long time, has been competing for a long time, did retire for a while, did step away, now he's back. EonBlu, again, more than willing and more than happy to be a part of HomeStory Cup. From my understanding, he's here every year anyway. EonBlu is always there year after year, but typically not as a competitor. Now he is. Now he has made his debut here at HomeStory Cup. I say debut, I'm not too sure if he's actually competed in HomeStory Cup in years past, especially in the early days. For now, Links get picked off. Reaper does bypass the Queen. We go for the mineral line to get a KDA charge, but so far EonBlu doesn't lose any workers. We have defended across the map. We do have Clem settling into his 3CC setup, 3rd CC before starport. Economic opener here at a Clem. Just applying pressure with the Reapers, picking off Lings, but again, at least not getting any workers. Oh my god, as the Reaper is one shot away from going down, looks like it will fall. We shut down the Reaper. Finally, we have control of our side of the map. EonBlu is free to drone. As I say that, Hellions have arrived, threatening a dive. Eon has to pull back, has to respect these Hellions. As Clem is not opening up Banshee, we're not going for an add-on swap, we are opening up Liberator. So 3CC 111 into that Lib. It's going to be Hellions from one end, Liberator from the other. The goal here is for the Hellions to distract the Queens, and because the Queens are going to be kept busy, that means that the Liberator has the opportunity to dive into a mineral line and to get damage done. It is going to be a bit of a multi-pronged attack here from Clem. Likewise, because it's not Banshee, there's no add-on swap, it means that Stim is going to be prioritized. Stim is already on the way. Stim is in production. As Clem is settling into his 3 racks follow-up. Hellions still rotating around. 6 Hellions in total. Going to be reinforcing. Liberator has arrived. We have the Liberator primed to head across the map as well. There we go, Liberator towards the left, towards the main. And we'll see how Clem pieces this all together. The Hellions and Lib. Lings do get across the map, going to be distracting. The Hellions bring them all back home. Do bring them back. 2 SCVs go down already, not bad. Can we get a third? Oh, not quite. 2 SCV kills. Liberator does head into the main. Hellions were forced all the way back home, so Hellions can't really threaten the mineral line at the same time. But they are headed for the third base. And the Queens, they respond to the Lib. Uh-oh. They're responding to Lib at the same time. Lings head across the map. SCVs are going down. The Hellions have to race back home. Very nice counterattack here from EonBlu. We got 3, 4 SCV kills. 6 oh my god. 6 SCVs be forced back to the army. At the same time, Liberator has been defended against. We do deny mining time, but not many drones have fallen. Do we transfuse? Oh, we do. The Queens, they stand strong. They shut down that Liberator, but we are still not done. Do we have Lings? Because here come those Hellions. They have cleaned up back at home. They shut down the Lings. Looking for a dive. We have 14 Lings in production, and Clem doesn't take the risk. He's just skirting around the edge of creep. He doesn't go for the mineral lines. Does respect the army here of EonBlu. And these Lings have arrived. They have spawned in. EonBlu defense. Whew, oh my god. This has been a very tense couple of minutes here between Clem and EonBlu. I mean, the Liberator got 0 drone kills. Hellions, they find their way into the natural. We took our time, but we did make our way into the natural base. Drones are finally getting roasted. The barbecue was real. Oh, the Queen's out of position. Ling's having a hard time keeping up. 11 drones go down. Oh my god. Did I say 11, 13, 14, 15 drones? Can we get 16? Barely not. But finally, Clem gets the damage he's been looking for. He was patient. It did take some time. He was losing workers back at home, but did bust in. And just like that, Clem takes an economic lead. EonBlu was doing so well up until that point. Unfortunately, just unable to keep up with those Hellions. One opening is all it takes. And now Clem is in control. Now he busts into the middle line. Drones are going down. Liberator from behind as well. 20 drones falling at the same time. EonBlu going for a Ling counterattack. But we have defenses back at home. We have Lings. Sorry, we have Marines. We have tanks. We defend. We defend and we attack, and we're getting out of control. The Queens are falling one after the other. We have slow banes. We can micro against them. We can kite back. Oh. Yeah, we can kite back. Ooh, they focus on 3 Bailings already. Bailing speed kicks in. But there are not enough Lings. Every Bailing does fall. The Queens as well. And things are looking dire. Things are looking bleak here for EonBlu. The base is going to go down. And we break the fourth. Everything just snowballing out of control. The Dominors, they fall one after another. EonBlu desperately trying to hold on. And he will eventually. But remember, this was only a 16 Marine drop. A 16 Marine double medevac drop got so much done. 74 Lings falling throughout the course of this game. The Queens, the Bailings, and now here comes the main army. Momentum is on at Clem's side. And everything just falling apart too fast, too quickly here for EonBlu to keep up with. Ling run by is going to get some damage done, but what is there for him to defend? A good amount of Bailings. You have how many? 18 Bailings to defend. Dupree splits. We get some decent connections, but it's not good enough. Yeah, the spread is too good. Clem shuts down the Ling Bane, and now there are 0 Bailings left. We target them all down. GG gets called. We cannot keep up, and Clem takes game number 1. Whew. GG. GG, well played again. EonBlu was keeping up until a certain point, and then you saw very quickly, once Clem finds an opening, everything quickly just escalates in favor of Clem. He was able to get those 15 drone kills, then come in with his drop, catch the Queens, catch the base. It all just fell apart. And again, there's a reason why Clem is the strongest Terran player in Europe. Does take the lead, but it's a best of 3. Best of 3. We can bounce back. We can bring things back here in game number 2. I want to believe. Do want to believe. I was saying that Group D is a spicy group of death. I think Group D, let me just double check. I think Group C. I think I mean there's a discussion going on in the chat, but I think Group C is gonna be quite close. Between Showtime, Harsum, and Kelazur. I think you can definitely shuffle them in between each other, and either two of those three could make it through. I do think Forjumi can also threaten those three players as well. So I don't think Group C is clear cut. Likewise, Group D. I think Group D is going to be quite close as well between Hero Marine, Laser, and Trigger. You could make an argument that the skill level of the players in Group C are all closer than that of any other group. Because, like, Kuku and Spazzy Mazzy have potential as well. So I think I would say that. I think the skill level of Group C is a lot closer between them, so it's harder to call. Group D has a lot more higher tier players, but I think there is a bit of a gap between Hero Marine, Laser, and Trigger and the other three players potentially. I mean, sorry, I should say Hero Marine, Laser, Trigger, and Holy Hit, obviously, and the other players. But we'll see, we'll see. I think Drogo is always a wild card because we don't really know the state of play that Drogo is in, just because Drogo is not the most active of players. Like, Drogo's not too active, so sometimes he can show up and he can look insane, other times less so. So I think he's a bit of a question mark. Mixu, I got a lot of love for Mixu, obviously. Holy Hit as well. I want to believe. Actually, the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to in Group D is Holy Hit's drip. Now, I want to. Now the anticipation is real. He teased us with the blazer earlier. I'm already picturing the sunglasses, right? Picturing the sunglasses. The chinos. I'm ready. I'm ready for Holy Hit to walk the red carpet. Walk the red carpet for the fangirls to flaunt over Holy Hit. Let's go. I'm gonna be keeping my eye on the player cams. So settling into game number 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Amphion, we have our German Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Berliner Esports Club. It is EonBlu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the French Terran player representing Team Liquid leading the series 1-0. It is Clem. Maybe Mana can bring the upset. Yeah, we mentioned it. Like, Mana took a game off of Clem. If you can take a game off of Clem, you can take a game off of anyone, and maybe even a series. So, yeah, there's a chance there that Mana has a good shot at making it out. 100%. But here we go. For now, we're going to be calming things down. Going to be settling in to game 2. Is going to be Hatch first here from EonBlu. Going to be loading into Amphion. Amphion, another one of these more somewhat unique maps. Like, we have some unique features in the sense that we can take a more defendable third base here as well, depending on the matchup. You can mine through these middle patches, make it a little bit harder to actually apply pressure here. This goes for both players. Won't stop drop play, but can delay ground pushes. Likewise, a ramp leading into the natural. We can see Clem going for the racks right next to the Reaper Cliff, just so we can get across the map as quickly as possible. Just so we can zoom out. So we are settling in. And again, in the last game, EonBlu wasn't going for anything too cheeky, right? It's like we've been seeing some specialized builds and some like more all-ins out of EonBlu for a lot of this series, sorry, a lot of tonight's matches. But here against Clem, or at least in the ZVT, less so. Game 1, EonBlu was more the reactor, was trying to react to Clem, was macroing up. We'll see if that continues here. EonBlu does pull out of gas, link speed is on the way. Clem has arrived, he's in position to try and delay that third. SCV lying in wait for the drone. Reaper does rock up, dancing with the lings. Oh, catching one. One ling goes down, gonna get a second ling as well. Yeah, fighting off a creep like this is brutal, and Clem has his way with this army. 2 lings, soon to be 3. Gets a 3rd ling. And then gets the hell out of here. Does respect the queen. Behind this, another 3 CC opener. It's gonna wait. What? Oh, they're dead. I was like, am I blind? Where's the 3rd CC? There it is. 3rd CC here, further back in the main base. So economic opener out of Clem. Meanwhile, we catch the drone. The gas geyser is denied. A drone goes down, and EonBlu is contained. And how do we respond? Roach Warren. We're going for an all-in. We're going for a roach rush. I mean, I say all-in. You can macro out of this. We'll see how hard EonBlu commits to the roaches, as Roach Warren is halfway done. Hidden in the main. See how hard we commit, as EonBlu is mining through these middle patches. Interesting. I'm curious, are we gonna do the same thing? Are we gonna mine through the patches on the left? Yeah, we're going through it. We're going for it. Let's go. Same idea. We saw this earlier on Crimson Court. The boys are being pulled, and the goal is to mine through these patches and to bust on through with the all-in into the natural. The downside is the position of the factory. I believe the factory will spot this. Meanwhile, Hellions, they do bust in. No, we get a full scout. Clem, he busts into the main. We get eyes on the Roach Warren. He's aware of what's going on. And we get 6 drone kills as well. Remember, Ryung did not get the scout off, which is why this was so successful against Ryung. But Clem, he sees everything. Spots the roaches, drones, they're working through the middle patches. Clem does not see this. Clem is not fully aware. Yeah, he barely doesn't see the patches. It's barely out of vision. Oh! And here we go. We're flooding links and roaches across the map. Clem, he's out on the map. The Hellions. Do we turn back around? Do we go for the base trade? Do we go for more drone kills? As the Ling Roach floods into the natural. Clem caught with his pants down. Cloak is going to be shut down. The boys are being pulled, trying to keep this alive. Trying to pull off the repair. Oh, and we are trapped. The Banshee has made it. The wall goes down. Hellies, they race back home. We get a full surround, and there's no way out of this. The roaches, they're being completely surrounded. They're being shut down. We get 13 SCV kills. GG gets called, and Clem holds. Clem survives, and Clem takes the series 2-0. GG. GG. Congratulations, champ, as Clem does take it in the end. Again, unlike Ryung, he was able to get eyes on it ahead of time, was able to at least prepare a little bit better back at home, was able to pull the boys. There was potential for EonBlu, but again, he was just in a really rough position, just did not have enough to really sustain his Roach army there, as he did get completely surrounded, banishing him out in time as well. GG, well played. But yeah, like, I appreciate exploring these builds just because we haven't seen much of this. I remember seeing these kind of all-in variations at the start of the season when the map pool was fresh and new. I think there were some players experimenting, and then players very quickly kind of cast it aside and they veered away from it. But I feel like there's potential here, and yeah, EonBlu has been having fun. I mean, we saw this a couple of days ago, if you remember, in WTL, when we casted Rex versus Raynor on Post Youth, where Rex went for a 12 pool drone rush, where he mined through the minerals on Post Youth, and in all intents and purposes should have killed Raynor. Like, Raynor went for the base trade and barely won at that. Like, that was such a clutch game. If you missed WTL last week, between Offside and Basilisk, I recommend it. It was a wild series, and like a similar kind of similar vibe, or similar kind of outset there when it comes to working with the mineral patches in some of these maps. Just because mineral walls are so commonplace in a lot of these maps here, whether it's Amphion, whether it's Alkyone, whether it's Post Youth, and even on Crimson Court. So yeah, it's something worth exploring. And GG, well played. Clem will take the 2-0. With that, we are almost done. We are almost done with Group A. 1 round left. Up next is going to be Hydra versus EonBlu. Now, quickly double checking here. Let's have a look at the brackets. 1 moment. Switching our scenes over.